In a world of breaking news, WKAT breaks the mold. With your generally correct host, Michael J. Katt.
Alright, thanks for getting here with me today, YouTube. Today I want to discuss the case of Adrienne Quintal of Warren, Michigan. Now, Adrienne Quintal is age 47. She had traveled from Warren, Michigan up north to a family cabin in Honor, Michigan, and met her boyfriend there. Her boyfriend had left that cabin on October the 15th. Adrienne Quintal called a family friend in Warren, Michigan at 2:34 a.m. on October 17th, asking her friend for help. She had told her friend that there were strange noises coming from outside and that she was shooting at two men who were stationed outside of her cabin and that she was located within the cabin. The cabin was an extended one-floor cabin, which was built upon a mudroom, making it a little taller than a standard-sized cabin. She told her friend that she had shot one of the men in the face and that the two men were shooting back at her. Adrienne did not call Benzie County Sheriff's Department for help, which is the county in which her cabin was held in. Adrienne had a 9mm handgun, and police found that shots were fired from within the cabin, with shell casings being found on the cabin's floor. But law enforcement could not find any evidence of any shots having been fired from outside of her cabin. Her cell phone was found in an unknown area, and her handgun was found outside on the ground, empty of bullets. The cabin was locked up, and it appears as if though she climbed out a window and got onto the roof of the cabin. There were no outside lights on at the cabin, so how did she know that she had shot one of the men in the face, and that there were two men involved shooting back at her? Adrienne's friend had called Benzie County Sheriff's Office and told them what was occurring at her cabin, but she gave them the wrong address to the cabin. She stated it was 2900 Old Indian Road, where it was 4900 Indian Road. Law enforcement showed up at the cabin around 13 minutes after the call at 2:58 a.m., but this was at the wrong address. The sheriff's office had to contact Adrienne's family to get the correct address to her place, and then arrived at 3:15 a.m. Upon arriving, law enforcement found that there were shots fired from within the cabin from Adrienne's 9mm handgun, and shell casings were on the floor, but there were no evidence of any shots having been fired outside the cabin. No evidence that anyone was wounded by a shot that she had fired shooting in the direction of outside of her cabin. Some evidence was found on the roof of the cabin, but not her handgun, which was found outside on the ground. What was found on the roof was likely her boots and cell phone. Law enforcement observed evidence of possible foul play. Her keys, car, wallet were left behind, as well as her handgun and cell phone. Law enforcement is not clear on whether she left voluntarily or if she's in danger. Canine dogs were not able to track her scent to where she may have gone, and on Tuesday, drones began searching the area. Quintal's loved ones have searched beyond the police area, according to her son. Her son said, Quentin's boyfriend had returned Tuesday to their home in Southfield. The couple were at the cabin working on a project. After looking that area over, I discovered that to the east of her cabin was an unpassable swamp. To the west sat Little Platte River. This is a very little area in which that she could have ran off in. It was very puzzling. This was such a puzzlement to me that I began thinking of questions relating to this case. So I called Benzie County Sheriff's Office to give some answers. These are the questions that I gave to Benzie County Sheriff Ted Schnitzel.
Thank you for calling the Benzie County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you know your party's extension number, you may dial it now. For a dial-by-name directory, press star. Otherwise, please select from the following choices. To file a complaint or to talk to a dispatcher, press 0. For the administrative offices of the sheriff, press 1. For jail information, gun registration, and jail billing, press 2. For the Detective Bureau, press 3. For the jail administrator, press 4. For civil process, press 5. Dispatch, Lori.
Yeah, I had some questions concerning the Adrienne Quintal case.
Okay, let you talk to the Detective Bureau. Just a moment.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Hello?
Good morning, ma'am. This is Michael with WKAT out of Kokomo. I had some questions concerning the Adrienne Quintal case.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your name again?
Michael.
Michael? Okay. Can you hold on?
Yes.
Okay, Michael. Transfer you to the sheriff, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Hold on.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sheriff. How you doing?
Good.
I had a couple questions on the Adrienne Quintal case. This is Michael from WKAT in Kokomo, Indiana.
Oh, Kokomo, Indiana. Okay.
Heard of it?
Oh, yeah, I know where Kokomo is. Yep.
Oh, cool.
It's just, yeah.
Okay, my questions were this. What type of handgun was Adrienne Quintal shooting from inside the cabin, and was there shells found inside the cabin? Shell casings.
All right, first of all, let's start all over again. What's your first name?
Michael.
And where are you calling from?
Kokomo, Indiana, sir.
And the media?
WKAT.
I'm sorry.
WKAT.
Okay. What's the phone number there?
My phone number is 765-566-5023.
Okay. And you're asking what now?
What type of handgun did she have?
9mm.
Okay, and was that pistol found?
Yes.
And was it empty of shells when it was found?
Yes.
Okay, now was there any evidence found on the roof of her cabin?
Yes.
And would that be the handgun as well with her phone?
No. Handgun was found on the ground.
And it was empty of shells?
That's correct.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, how many stories tall was the cabin?
It's kind of strange. It's like it's only one story, but it's raised. So there's probably like a half basement, and then the cabin sits on top of that. And then there's two mudrooms that are kind of even with the ground, but then you have to walk up steps to get into the house.
Now, the cabin was locked, correct?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Now, was there any shots that were fired from the outside?
Not that we could tell.
Any foot tracks or tire marks?
Well, we checked all that stuff. We had canine there. We had thermal imaging. We searched the area very intensely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I guess my question is, are you aware or can you speak on the fact that she may have had a life insurance policy?
That I do not know.
Okay, because that would have been something I would have been looking into. You know,
I'm sure the detectives have, but I don't know personally whether she did or not.
Okay, now it was dark outside at 2:30 in the morning, but she had told her friend that she shot one of the guys in the face. Was there an outside light on?
Outside light? No.
Okay, is there any indication that she could have been driven away from the scene, be it voluntarily or by abduction?
Well, there was no evidence of that, but yeah, that certainly could have happened.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious as to why she didn't call your sheriff's department rather than her friend in Warren.
Well, we're all wondering the same thing. Yeah.
Well, I thank you, sir. You've covered a lot of my bases because I am very puzzled by this indeed. It's
well, join the club.
This is a very strange case.
We've put out a couple press releases, and we are getting more tips, and we're following up on that. But we're looking down three avenues. One, that she had a medical issue, kind of freaked out, shut the place up, ran out into the woods. Number two is that she was abducted.
I was looking at that on the map. Now, if you go east of her house, it goes into a swamp. But if you go west, it goes through that little run. And there's just very little area where she could have took off. You see what I mean? It's just like such a small space.
It's a very, very difficult area to traverse.
Okay. Well, sir, I thank you very much for your time. It was very easy to get through to you. I really assumed I'd be talking to someone else. All right, you have a good day, sir.
All right, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Here's what I believe may have occurred. Her boyfriend and Adrienne had set up a life insurance scheme, or something very similar to that. I believe her boyfriend is a person of interest as well as her friend. I would, if I was in charge of this case, look into the telephone records of Adrienne Quintal, her unnamed boyfriend, and her friend that lives in Warren, Michigan. I believe their phone records would indicate to whom they talked with and perhaps give reason why she came up missing. I believe this is a case of purposely becoming missing. This doesn't appear as if though that Adrienne was criminally abducted. Her friend? Why would she give law enforcement a wrong address? To perhaps slow them from arriving at the cabin in a timely fashion? That's my belief. Adrienne Quintal and her boyfriend had money, and money is the reason behind most crimes. Why would two unknown men show up, start making noises outside, then start shooting at her cabin in her direction? Law enforcement says they can find no evidence that correlates it happened like that. To me, it appears as if though she got a ride out of that area. Life insurance would be my first step in looking into, right alongside of the phone records of Adrienne Quintal, her boyfriend, and her friend from Warren, Michigan. I think this is a case where things are not as they firstly appear to be. This case has a profound smell of setup, for money to be gained. There is so much that doesn't sum up in the investigation numbers. I cannot say that this is true, but given what I know, it appears that way. I'm now following this case. Stay tuned with me. There's more here that meets the eye. Thanks for viewing. There'll be a live show tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there. Peace.